Now, this has really pissed me off today, guys. I don't know if you're watching the extravaganza, but at the end there, Andrew said that Brian Shapiro guy called into the show and then said that I f***ed up the prompt of the debate when he just didn't know what it was. So I've shared this just so we just have a bit of clarity here. Okay. As we can quite clearly see, I texted him and said, "Hey man, not sure if you saw my text, but we are confirmed for next Tuesday, 12 to 2. Prompt, is it ethical to support Donald Trump?" And apparently he's gone on Rob Noah's stream and said that I it up with the prompt. Now, Andrew did say at the start of the debate that people all call him Lion Brian. That's his nickname in his circles, is Lion Brian. And now I really see what he means, what people mean by that. Buddy, listen, it's not my fault if you don't understand what the word ethical means, okay? If I see ethical in a prompt, then I know that we're probably going to get into some philosophy about, well, what do you mean by ethical? Normally, we're going to have to give an account for our definition, even if it is a proprietary definition, okay, of the words within the prompt. So please, Brian, don't come at me with that bullshit. Why would you do that? We've got text messages of me telling you, and dumbass, man, fucking dumbass. Just such cope though. You got demolished in the debate. You got absolutely demolished in the debate, and you couldn't give an account for your own ethical system. You don't even know what an ethical system is. Clearly, you have zero understanding of philosophy. You're an absolute freaking dirtbrain, and then you want to say, "Oh, the moderator." Shut the up, man. Dumbass. Freaking cope. Take pride in making sure that my debaters are both very aware of what the prompt is. And we discussed at length. I called the guy. We were speaking for like half an hour and discussing and going through all of the different prompts that he would like to do. And then we came to the conclusion that is it ethical to support Donald Trump would be all encompassing for those things. Now, did I know that he would be in a bit of trouble with that prompt? Yeah, but he's the one who agreed to it. If you're too much of a bozo to actually look at a prompt and be like, take that part out of it because that's not exactly what I want to go for, then it's not my problem. I've been doing debates for 22 years. Well, maybe read a freaking book. Maybe read a freaking book then, bro. Okay. Brian Shapiro. There he is. Honestly, Brian Shapiro. This is the guy who debated Andrew yesterday, if you guys didn't know. So, seriously, guys, I gave this guy a call up last week and we spoke for about half an hour on the phone. And I said, dude, we've got this debate coming up. What would you like to do as the topic? I asked Andrew, is there a topic that you would like to do? And Andrew clearly said to me, no. He goes, Brian, get Brian to pose the topic. So I called up Brian. I said, listen, you're able to pose the topic if you would like. Okay. I can't off character. I'm trying my hardest, guys. I'm trying my hardest here. Oh. Anyways, I call him up. This guy, Brian Shapiro, on screen. Okay. I call him up and I'm like, listen, Brian, you can make the topic if you would like. You can make the prompt. The ball is in your court. And so he's talking about, well, I don't like this about Trump, and I'm a vehement anti-Trump guy, and I want to debate him on abortion, I want to debate him on ICE, and I want to debate him on Christian nationalism. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, I think a good topic for this would be, is it ethical to support Donald Trump? Because you're basically saying that people who support all these things are unethical, you know?
What the hell is even that?
So it was very clear. And then I obviously showed the screenshots as well to you guys before. So I showed the screenshots and I'll show them again, just so everybody knows. This guy goes on Rob Noah's podcast last night and he says, I didn't know that the prompt was around ethics. Listen, bitch. You can see the freaking screenshot here, Monday, 24th of November. What's the date today? Yeah, that was a week ago. You had a week to prepare for it and tell me if you wanted to change the freaking topic, you bald head ginger bitch. Sorry, where is he? Where is he? Here we go. Sorry. There he is. Sorry. There it is. Sorry. Anyways. Yeah, so this guy starts trying to talk shit on the moderator and tries to start saying that I messed up the prompt. Literally, dude, if you've been doing this for 22 years, nobody has ever questioned you about your ethical system. Nobody has ever said to you, well, how did you arrive at that conclusion, Brian? Where did that come from? You say that this is good and bad, and you say that you're a centrist or liberal. Yes, I'm a centrist. I'm a registered independent. If you say that, then nobody has ever said to you, okay, well, what's bad about it? Like, how do you actually derive good and bad? What's the standard for that? Or do you just interview nuffies on your show all day? Can we just point out that Brian Shapiro is such a nobody? When you Google searched him, not a single image of him came up. I don't know what you're talking about, Aaron. We've got lots of images of him coming up. Clearly. Don't know what Aaron's talking about there. Where is he? Where is he? Brian Shapiro, more results. More results. Now, one thing I actually don't mind about Brian Shapiro is he's a musical sort of guy. He plays the guitar sometimes. He does play the guitar sometimes. He like whips out the guitar from time to time, and he likes to slap on the bass from time to time, which I can enjoy. He's slap on the bass. You know, so he's a quirky cat, a little bit of a Voldemort looking person, but you know, he's a quirky cat, Brian. Don't want to tell you about what we did in Vegas that time. Do not want to tell you about what we did in Vegas that time. But no, I like the guy, honestly. Sometimes I don't really like when he wears his mask around his neck like this. Not a huge fan of when he wears his mask around his neck like this. A little bit beta male sort of energy, but we've all got our sort of pitfalls as well. He sold me a car one time, as you can see, Brian, on the right here. He sold me a car one time, which I wasn't. The frickin' motor stopped working after 6 months or so, and then I walk in to buy a new bed 6 months later, and there he is. There he is. He frickin' sells me this bed, comes to my house, and asks me if he can try it out with my wife on the bed. Get off, Brian. Get out of my house, dude. So he's a freaking salesman and a half as well, Brian. Anyways, but what else? Have I got any other good stories about Brian? Yeah? That's right. Yep. One time he also, as you can see, he got himself into a pickle. He ended up in a Singaporean prison for a few nights. This is a photo. That was a crazy time. Won't be going back to Singapore anytime soon. That was wild. What else is there about Brian Shapiro? What else can we say about Brian Shapiro, guys? What else is there to say? What else is there to say? No. What is this Google search? I don't normally like to punch down like this, guys. I don't normally like to punch down like this. But here's him playing on his laptop, right? This is actually the moment that he received my text message about the prompt for the debate. it's crazy how this shit comes together sometimes, but this is the exact moment that he received the prompt for the debate. This is him looking at it being like, yeah. Like I said, I don't like to punch down. But you can see him sort of trying to scan the debate prompt there. It's ethical. Ethical. You know? Honestly, how did we type in Brian Shapiro and get so lucky with a Down syndrome on a laptop? Just unbelievable. Now we'll see. Do most of the population look like this? Yeah, anyways. First of all, it starts with him getting absolutely roasted in the Tim Pool debate. We do a video on that. And then get him on the channel for a debate and everything, only to find out that Buddy looks like he's got cheeks like a freaking blown up water balloon. Right? Look at him. He's got cheeks like a blown up water balloon. All right, last one, guys. Well, I think there's one more classic photo of Brian somewhere down here. There's got to be one more classic photo of Brian, which would just be typical Brian, and then we'll move on to the next topic because I'm hemorrhaging my audience right now. There's got to be one more classic Brian photo down here of him doing some crazy shit. There's got to be something. We know that he's quite the character. Oh, hey, look at that. Look at that, guys. Look at that, guys. And the prompt, is it ethical to support Donald Trump? It's in the prompt and everything. Da, da, da. And this is how it ended for Brian, guys. This is how it ended for Brian. As you can see, he ended up, oh shit. He ended up a security guard. He ended up a security guard, as we can see here, guys. Not where he expected to go in life, but he ended up a security guard at the courthouse, which is not ideal.